Hello, it's Paul the Ripples guy. So a few days ago, I got a text from someone I've known for 20 years. I met him when he was a little 15, bumped into him again when he was in college, and we stayed in touch on Ripples and on phone calls. And a couple times I've been able to hug him in person over the years. Well, he texted me and asked me to make a pep talk video for someone close to him who is in very deep pain right now. She's been struggling with depression and suicidal thinking. And he reached out to me because things have been that bad for him before, and some of my stuff helped him. And he also reached out to me because he knows I've been in that deep of pain before as well. And so I'm making this video for him, and I'm making this video for her, and I'm making this video maybe for you too. Anyone who is just really struggling lately. And I want to say first, I'm sorry that you're struggling right now. I wish there was something that I could say or do that could fix all the stuff that needs fixing. I've been thinking a lot over the past few days about what are the right quotes to read, what are the right questions to ask, what's the right thing to say. And so far, I just don't know. But this is what I do know. It sounds like you are hurting right now, and I know I know I've been hearing that a lot lately. There are lots of people in pain, and I know that I've been hurting a little bit too. And I share that not to try to minimize your pain, but I'm wondering if it would be helpful to put it in context, uh, to normalize it some. Lots of us are really, really struggling lately, and you aren't alone, even if it feels like that you are. It's also true that what you need help with is probably beyond my capabilities, my capacity, my control. There are counselors and there are mental health professionals. Oh, and there is the new 988 number that just went live here in the US, that is a mental health and suicide hotline, that's open 24 hours from any phone in the United States. If you dial 988, you can get connected and talk to a live person, and all of them are way more qualified than I am to offer professional help. But what I've been thinking about is some things to share that have been helpful with me. And I want you to know that whenever I've been feeling really bad or thinking yucky thoughts, unable to do much of anything, I try to remind myself that I'm not the only one who's ever thought this way. And importantly, this isn't the first time that I've felt this stuck. Feeling stuck is not the same as being stuck. And I made this little quick thing here to share you. My feelings affect my thoughts, which affect my actions, which then affect my feelings. And these go round and round, impacting each other. And most models of mental health treatment start with trying to address one of these areas to try to help people who are spiraling down to start cycling back up. And so what I try to do for myself is I try to nudge myself in each of these three areas, to see which one might be the most open to moving. And I usually start with the feels, because I like to say to myself that feelings aren't facts. I try to honor my feelings as valid while remembering that they aren't always accurate. And the truth is, feelings can fib sometimes. Feeling helpless isn't necessarily a sign, feeling hopeless isn't necessarily a sign that there's no reason for hope. It just means that in that moment, I can't think of any. And a lot of times, it actually isn't my feelings that are getting me stuck, it is my resistance to feeling them. I'm afraid to feel the feels. And so I'm avoiding them. And that's actually what is getting me stuck. And sometimes being able just to say out loud about what I'm feeling helps me get them out there, create some distance, create some perspective so that I can figure out what to think about them, so that I can think about what to do with them. What are you feeling right now? Can you say it out loud to yourself? Can you maybe write it down and see if that would help? After I tweak my feelings a little bit and try to look at them a little bit, then it's thoughts. And it's true, my thoughts my thoughts can be so tricky too. On my best days, I am this really smart, really wise human being. And at other times, my thoughts get all jumbled and distorted. There's this term, cognitive distortions or fuzzy thinking, that counselors talk about. Google it if you haven't heard the term, because there's all these ways in which our our thoughts can sometimes play tricks on us too. Um, Things aren't always as bad as they seem. And even when they are that bad, we're not always good at estimating how much worse things are going to get, or how long things are going to get bad before we get better. We are actually wired for worry. Our species made it to today by focusing a little bit more on the bad stuff and the scary stuff, because that's the stuff that could kill us. But here's the thing that we forget. We are wired for worry, but we're also wired for wonder. And we can often get a little bit more perspective and a little bit more peace anytime we can pause and focus on the good stuff, the beautiful stuff that's in our life. Is there anything good in your life right now? Are there people that you're glad that you've connected with lately? Even something small, even something brief. You'll hear about gratitude lists and stuff, and there's some enormous research about how valuable gratitude is. But a lot of people think what they're supposed to do is write a big long list of everything they're grateful for. And the research actually says is if you can just find one or two things and reflect, or maybe even write down what's the thing or the person that you're grateful for, and then write a sentence about why. Not just what or who, but why is it you're grateful? Why are you glad they're there? And then after feelings and thoughts come actions. And it is true for me, and I bet it's true for you, that I don't always feel like doing the things that make me feel better. But it is true that there are a handful of things that consistently make me feel better, even when they can't fix everything. And for me, it's stuff like going for a walk and listening to music, meditating, reading, having long chit chats with friends on the phone. Can you tell I'm an extrovert? Who knew? But sometimes I'm waiting to feel like doing that, and I have to nudge myself. Sometimes I have to force myself to go ahead and actually do the things, because sometimes we have to start doing the thing before we feel like doing it. And we're getting it backwards if we're trying to wait to feel like we do it, like doing it. And I will tell you that when I can nudge myself or force myself to actually just go do the thing, even if I'm not feeling like it, very rarely do I regret it. Very rarely. And so that's it for now. Some feelings, some thinking, some actions. I'm hoping this helped you feel a tiny bit better, gave you some stuff to think about, maybe even to take action on. But here's the deal. Speaking of action, you watched this video. You took some action, and that proves to me two things. It proves that you're alive, and that there's some hope alive in you too. Congratulations, you made it to today.